Graphite and graphene exposed companies on the ASX have been running strong over the last month. We've got leaders that are up between 66 and 129%. While there are mixed reports coming out with stronger forecast market growth, while imminent markets are not showing much of a change. We'll look at the ASX's best graphite and graphene leaders, comments from the market suppliers, and insights from forecasted growth in global demand. But first, some points to clarify, as graphene and graphite is a bit more complicated than just looking at the price of gold. This is Shares in Play, where we look at a leading market thematic and drill down to see which companies are taking the market higher. You can click here to subscribe and click on the bell so that you get the alerts of when the updates come out. There are different types of graphite, and if we just look at the subset of spherical graphite, we can see that it's broken down into having segmented of isotropic graphite, extruded graphite, molded graphite, as well as other market segments. Now the application becomes another critical part when assessing the mines or the companies that you're looking at investing in. So the application could be special grade segmented into photovoltaic industry, semiconductor industry, electrical discharge machining, foundry and meteorological field, as well as many others. When looking at the global marketplace, we have seen significant rise in electric vehicle demand, lithium demand, and other resources and commodities that go into the lithium-ion battery markets. And as a result of this growth, we've seen the demand for lithium-ion battery anodes also experiencing significant rise in demand and expansion. Now, this has resulted in increased demand for purified spherical graphite, or PSG. This is by anode manufacturers. With annual growth rates of up to 29% predicted through to 2030, a decade from now, it's leading to an increase in the market from approximately 200,000 tonnes in 2019 to 2.4 million tonnes by 2030. The production of lithium-ion battery anodes is largely concentrated in China. That accounts for about 85% of the current battery anode capacity. The remaining 15% of lithium-ion battery anode capacity is centered in South Korea and Japan, with emerging anode production sources being developed in Europe and also North America. Now, China is also the highest growth market for lithium-ion battery anodes, with over 90% of new capacity currently under construction. When looking at the reports from industry market participants and those shipping the commodities around the world, we see that the price for China's amorphous graphite has ticked up further still based on tight supply in the domestic market and increasing freight costs. Now, the flake graphite markets were all stable due to slow demand from the seaborne market and the reduction in the end-of-year stockpiling in the domestic market. The suppliers in China expect there to be market changes after the Chinese Lunar New Year on February the 12th. Also, the spherical graphite market has been flat since mid-November, despite strengthening demand from major consumers in both Japan and South Korea. If we cast an eye over to the European side of things, we see that the prices of that amorphous market have also ticked up, and they're at the top end of the range due to increased prices from that Chinese material, resulting in soaring container costs. Now, the effective increased transport costs from China has pushed consumers towards alternate sources of amorphous and flake graphite. And market participants have reported that there's been weak demand, with most consumers having restocked in December for the first quarter of 2021. Casting our eye now over to the ASX and the top 6 graphite and graphene exposed companies on the ASX and how they've performed over the last month. Number 6 is Hexagon Energy HEX, 66% over the month. Then we see Battery Minerals, BAT is a ticker, 66% as well. And then 4th place, we've got Metals Australia MLS, 69% over that month. 3rd place is BAS Metals BSM, 69% as well over that monthly period. Moving over to 2nd place now, we see a huge jump in performance, up to 114%. This is Novonix Limited. Now they're known as an integrated developer and supplier of high-performance materials, equipment and services for the global lithium-ion battery industry, with operations in the US and Canada and sales in more than 14 countries. The critical announcements over this period for Novonix has been from their wholly owned US-based subsidiary Pure Graphite. Now they've been selected to receive a US $5.5 million grant under the Advanced Manufacturing Office Financial Year 20 Critical Minerals Funding Opportunity Announcement. This is the next generation technology and field validation from the US Department of Energy. This is specifically highlighting the processing of battery critical minerals, including synthetic graphite. The submission from Pure Graphite is based in Tennessee and was the only graphite-based project to be funded under this FOA from the Department of Energy. And here we are at number 1, up 129%, is Renascor Resources RNU is the ticker. They've entered into a non-binding Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, with one of China's leading battery anode companies known as Zito. The MOU with Zito covers to purchase up to 10,000 tonnes per annum of purified spherical graphite, PSG again. Now this is over a 10-year term, which represents approximately 1/3 of the project's initial PSG production capacity of Renascor's planned battery anode material operation in South Australia. Now Zito is a top 10 anode producer globally, supply anodes to some of the world's largest battery makers such as Hong Kong listed BYD Co, being the world's second largest manufacturer and retailer of electric vehicles. There's also a recent offtake MOU with Minmang New Minerals. These two offtakes account for up to 2/3 of the planned PSG production, and they're also currently discussing additional potential PSG offtake agreements. For more market updates, click on the subscribe button and the bell to make sure you get alerted to when they come out.